Could we see Nick Chubb make his way over to the Denver Broncos? We're going to talk about this on today's show. Welcome on into the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here. I'm reacting to an article I saw from CBS Sports following the NFL draft, which linked a couple of notable free agents to some specific teams. And they had Nick Chubb going to the Denver Broncos. So let's talk about this possibility, because initially I was very resistant to this idea, given that, well, for starters, Nick Chubb, a second-round draft pick out of Georgia by the Cleveland Browns, has started to have a little bit of an injury problem recently, right? That's probably putting it on the lighter side. Suffered multiple torn knee ligaments in week 2 of 2023. He's only played in 10 games since the start of 2023. Last year, he played 8 games after missing the first half of the season. And in those 8 games, it was not very inspiring football. Now, Nick Chubb, different player. Nick Chubb did have a very impressive workout that got posted online. And we can slip that clip in here right now for you guys to see, because I thought it definitely caught my attention for that's a guy that you probably want on your roster. Okay, so Nick Chubb just going through all the hurdles and even poking his head through the ceiling tile at the very end. And after seeing that, there was clearly a message being sent to the Browns and 31 other teams. I still got it. The Browns drafted 2 running backs in the draft, Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson. So to me, that kind of signals what their plan is at running back moving forward. So if the Browns don't bring back Chubb, to me, this video he put out there is a very good resume, or a very good, overall profile as to where his knee is at, given 2-year recovery from that ACL injury in September of 2023. And I wouldn't be shocked if a couple of GMs go, whoa, after seeing that, we have a whole different outlook on this entire situation. Now, the link for the Broncos comes in from CBS Sports, who said this: the Broncos are an intriguing spot for the veteran. The organization did add RJ Harvey in the second round out of UCF, but Chubb could come aboard and add some depth to the backfield alongside Jaleel McLaughlin. So after seeing that right there, I thought, all right, I guess there is some truth here after watching that workout clip of his, and the fact that you're maybe a little bit reliant on a rookie running back and RJ Harvey to be a big workhorse back for you. And you've got highlight reel Jaleel, who I think has shown to be a competent RB 2 to 3, but maybe not a primary ball carrier. And with a rookie, maybe that is the plan early going here. My overall outlook on the whole thing is Nick Chubb going to Denver seems like a long shot. We are filming this during our live show, which airs Tuesday afternoons. If I had to put money down, I think the Chicago Bears will land Nick Chubb. They needed a running back. They didn't get one in the draft. That seems like a Ryan Poles type of acquisition. And I don't think there's going to be a reunion in Cleveland. I won't completely dismiss the possibility of the Broncos adding Chubb, but one has to envision that Sean Payton has a vision for his running back room. And I think it's a committee backfield. And there's a chance that that's what Chubb is going to be moving forward for however many years he has left in the NFL. That he's just going to be a part of a rotation. But Chubb's a bell cow back. And when they took RJ Harvey, I think it was because they wanted him to work within their system of spreading the touches around between McLaughlin, Harvey, Bidet, Estime. And so I'm not really sure where Chubb fits in for that running back room. But if Nick Chubb is unsigned in August, training camp rolls around, and the coaches get to see the players with the pads on after a week, they're going to have a much better idea as to what they have and what they need. And after a week of practice, they might go, hey, this ain't it. Our running back room was bad last year. We moved down from Javonte Williams. We added a rookie in the draft. That's been the only addition so far. If RJ Harvey were to go down, we're right back to where we started last year, if not worse, since Pookie, while he may not have been what we all hoped he would have been, was probably the best running back on this team last year. So that's where I could see Chubb sneaking onto a team like Denver's roster, but not until I think August. August at the earliest. I don't think Denver coming out of the draft goes, hey, we just drafted a running back at 60, and we took one last year. Let's stunt their development, and let's go get Nick Chubb right now. I don't quite see it. So would you sign Nick Chubb? I think Chubb's going to be a good player. I think he's going to bounce back well from that ACL injury, 2 years removed from it. And watching that clip, it's hard not to get fired up about it. But I don't think the fit in Denver is right. So on one hand, I do think he'll be a good player. On the other hand, I'd like to kind of see how this young running back room plays out at first and then readjust from there if you need to. So Chubb, I think, will bounce back, but you got to go with the youth movement here. Got to go with the youngins. I want to see what Harvey can bring to the table. Right. One of the biggest advantages to taking a rookie running back is force feeding them a little bit early on while their legs are still kind of fresh, and you've got them on a rookie contract. You lose that pro when you add a veteran running back after drafting one in the top 60. All right. We hit 35,000 subscribers on the channel over the NFL draft weekend. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's already clicked that sub button down below. If you haven't yet, go ahead and do so. If you have, show me or tell me when you subscribe to the channel by commenting in the comment section below. It's just a fun way for me to know who's been subbed the longest. And for those of you that are a little unsure if you want to give me your subscription, which is completely free, there's a lot of really good recommendations in the comment section with how long people have been subbed for. All right. With that being said, let's talk a little bit Denver Broncos roster needs post-draft, because if they do go with a free agent running back like Nick Chubb, I would be a little bit surprised, but just talking about the position as a whole, the need as a whole, there's not really a gaping hole. The best I can come up with is maybe linebacker. Only because Dre Greenlaw gave us all a little bit of an injury scare when it came out that he had a quad strain. It was first somewhat erroneously or incorrectly reported that there was a tear, and then it was downgraded to a strain. And I think everyone's kind of just going, all right, it's not very severe, and it should not cause him to miss much, if at all, the 2025 NFL season. It doesn't appear that it will require surgery. Obviously, the human body can be a little bit fluid, so maybe some pictures of his leg come back in a week and things change. But he is expected to be ready for the start of the 2025 season. I'm not concerned. You shouldn't be concerned. But it would be somewhat naive if we did not remember who we are talking about. And we're talking about someone who has had some injury history in their career. Last year, Greenlaw missed basically the entire season. Only played the very end there because he suffered a torn Achilles in the previous Super Bowl against the Chiefs. 2021, he only played in 3 games. So, yeah, he's been up and down, which is why I don't think we can completely dismiss that. Hey, if you are curious, what does Denver need to do in free agency? What are the last little gaps need to be plugged in? Right now, the Broncos are going into the season with 2 starting inside linebackers who either are coming off an ACL injury or coming off a quad injury. You got 2 starters injured before you even see the field. Maybe the Broncos decide, you know what, let's add a veteran for an insurance policy. So we'll talk more about that in just a second here, but I do want to tell you guys about our awesome deal over at Fanatics, which is this Jahdae Barron rookie jersey. Go to chatsports.com/Barron. Once you pre-order the jersey, they'll mail it out to you when Barron selects his number. So use this link, chatsports.com/Barron. I put it in the comments and the description of today's video. So as I was saying, you could look at this as a little bit of a red flag, given that you got Greenlaw injured right now. Maybe not very serious, but still something to keep an eye on. And your other starting inside linebacker, Alex Singleton, he's 30-plus years old, isn't he? And he's coming off a torn ACL a year ago. Yeah, you got 2 starters injured before you even get to mandatory minicamp, before you even get to April. So I'm willing to be optimistic and go, Singleton's going to bounce back fine. He is a tank. He's going to work his tail off in rehab. And Greenlaw is just a strain. It's nothing to freak out, nothing to panic over. But if you really wanted to know what does Denver need after the draft, I looked long and hard at the depth chart for a spot to upgrade. And there are spots where sure you could be better, but they've made additions to those spots, like running back with RJ Harvey. You got to see that through, right? You can't just bail before he even touches the field. Same goes for like wide receiver. You added Pat Bryant. You got to see that thing through a little bit more. So if there is something, it would be maybe inside linebacker, given the injuries at that spot. All right. That will do it for us on today's show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you click that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet, and I'll catch up with you all next time.